How's it going, all you fellow travelers? So today I'm going to be talking to you about the 8 scams of Thailand and how you can avoid them. All these scams are really common and you might even fall for them without even knowing it. I personally fell for 5 out of these 8 scams when I was traveling in Thailand and didn't even realize it until after the fact. Right before we get into this video, I just want to say please give this video a big like if you enjoyed it, if it helps you out. Additionally, if you'd like to see all my other travel videos, travel advice, and travel tips, please subscribe. I share all of my travel experiences and tips with you so that you can go out and have the best travel experience possible. So without further ado, let's get into the 8 common scams of Thailand. Coming in at number 1 are tuk-tuks. I'll throw a little picture of them up right here, but pretty much a tuk-tuk is a little bit of like a hybrid between a motorcycle and a taxi. They're everywhere you go and they're super expensive. You might not even realize this, but you'll be paying 5, 6, 7 times as much to take a tuk-tuk opposed to if you just call a regular taxi. The entire tuk-tuk industry is built around tourism and they prey on tourists. They might not seem expensive because they might only cost you like 200-300 baht, so that's like $6 to $9. However, you can get a taxi, you go the exact same distance and it'll only cost you about like 50, 60, 70 baht, so that's anywhere between about $1.50, $2. However, more importantly, the tuk-tuk industry and the tuk-tuk drivers are the sources of so many scams. Because they're so tightly connected with the tourists, they can really take advantage of you. So not only did I get scammed by taking a tuk-tuk and not a cab, however the next 2 things are all things that I fell for because of tuk-tuks. So moving on to scam number 2, and that is what I call the prayer time scam. So what even is the prayer time scam? Alright, so the prayer time scam is whenever you're going to a temple, and when you're about a block away, you're near, maybe you're like the wrong entrance, a tuk-tuk driver will come up and be like, hey, like, are you trying to get into the temple? And you'll be like, oh yeah, like, I'm trying to go see the temple. And they'll start being really helpful and nice, and then get in a little conversation, say, and just let you know, like, the temple's currently closed. Right now it's prayer time, all the monks go and pray between, like, whatever time they make up and whatever time they make up it ends. And then they'll be like, oh, hey, I'm part of this tour, this activity, it's whatever it is, it's most likely a scam. They'll be like, we'll bring you there for free, you'll have so much fun at this activity or whatever it is, and then we'll bring you back right when the temple's about to open. And you'll be like, oh yeah, like, that sounds awesome, so you'll go. However, the temple was never closed because they're open all day long. However, him and the activity people just made a whole bunch of money off of you because they tricked you into doing some crappy activity. That was actually the first scam that I fell for in Thailand. The very first day I was there, I got double scammed. I didn't only get scammed by that, but they also led me into a second scam, which is scam number 3, and that is boat tours. Alright, so this is how it works. So me and 3 other people who all got to the hostel that morning, all decided to go explore Bangkok together. So we were going to the temple, and as we were going to it, we fell for the prayer time scam. He told us how it was closed, however, there's this cool thing we could do, so he brought us to this cool thing. However, the cool thing that he brought us to, the boat tour, is the 3rd scam. So the first reason why it's a scam is because they tried charging you way too much. They told us it was going to be 1,000 baht, and we're like, oh, psh, like, we don't want that, so we tried going back to the temple. And they're like, oh no, like, okay, we'll do 700, 600. They went all the way down to 400 baht before we eventually were like, alright, sure, like, we'll go on this boat tour. And just to give you an idea, 400 baht is about $12, and the original price that they were quoting us was 1,000 baht, and that's about 30 bucks. Alright, so we get on this boat, and first thing, the guy doesn't even speak English. Like, this is not like a tour guide. Like, most people who are working with tourists in Thailand, I feel like, speak English. This guy, no English. He's just sitting there controlling the motor, just driving in a straight line down the river, not talking, not saying what this is, what that is. And then additionally, it wasn't even a pretty place to the river. There were a bunch of just like torn down buildings, like scrap, trash throwing through the river. It's a super polluted river that they drive you through. And just to be clear, I'm sure there are some really good boat tours. However, if you see a boat that looks like this picture, just know that these boat tours are scams. There's hundreds of these boats, there's always tourists in them. However, that's not the worst part. So part of those boat tours, they say we're gonna bring you to a floating market. And floating markets are awesome in Thailand. They're one of my favorite things. They're on my top 10 things you should do in Thailand. However, this was not a floating market. We get to this one guy who's literally just in a canoe. He has like some little trinkets, some little tiny Buddhas, and a little styrofoam cooler with beer. There's literally just one guy selling trinkets out of the canoe. There was no food, there was no like other options. It was a total scam and phony setup floating market. So if that's not bad enough, we go and we get to this dock and he goes, alright, we're done, like, step on out. And I'm like, oh, when do we get back on? He's like, oh no, like, this is the final destination, like you're here. And I was like, oh, but you said we're going back to the temple. And he doesn't understand, this is not the same guy who brought me there, who said they'd bring me back. This is a completely new guy. He's like, no, like, it stops here. And I was like, are you going back? Like, can I just stay on here as you go back to the dock? Like, we all want to go back. And of course he didn't really speak English, so we had to get off. So then as we're getting off, this person starts asking me for money. I'm like, what the heck, like, money? And then she points to this sign, and the sign says, like, you must pay, like, so much to get off here. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, I just took a tour that you're dropping me off and making me pay more just to get off here? Like, I don't even want to get off. And there's no way to get out of it because the boat had already turned around and left. We're stuck here, and there's all these people who work at this dock who literally just get tourist money for getting off of their dock. I forgot how much it was. It wasn't a ton, but it was definitely like $1 or $2. So anyways, we get off there, we walk up the dock, and instantly we're in this like mini, like kind of small, not the best market. It's like very staged just for tourists. Alright, so we get there and I'm like, alright, I need to go to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom, and they're like 10 baht to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I have to pay to pee now too? So I pay to go to the bathroom, and then once you get to the streets, there's a million more tuk-tuk drivers that'll just drive you to where you originally wanted to be. Thankfully, we didn't avoid that scam this time when we took a regular taxi. For now that we're here, we're on the opposite side of the river. So here's Wat Pho, the temple we were going to, here's a little river, and then we were over here. So we had to get a taxi, go all the way around here just to get to the temple that we wanted to go to originally that wasn't even closed. However, mentioning taxi, that brings me to my scam number 4, and that is taxis and meter price. So you might not know what meter price is, and that's okay, but meter price pretty much means they have a little meter, and whenever a local gets in a taxi, they hit the meter, and for however far you drive or how long you're in the tab, the meter slowly goes up and up and up, and that's how much you pay when you get out. However, if you're in Thailand and you don't say meter price, then you're just going to tell them where you want to go, they'll throw out some number of how much it's going to cost, and then you get in the taxi and go there. If you don't say meter price, I guarantee it'll be at least double the amount as if you just asked for the meter price. If you're in a really busy area, plenty of taxis will just say no if you ask for meter price, and that's totally okay. There's tons of taxis in Thailand, especially in Bangkok. You just go from taxi to taxi, just knock on the window, say meter price, next one, meter price, meter price. I've gone to as many as 10, 12, 15 taxis before I got one to say yes to meter price. However, usually you can find one in under 5. Alright, moving on to number 5, and that is motorbike rentals, or any vehicle rental for that matter. So as I said earlier, the past 4 scams have all been ones that I fell for within like my first couple days in Thailand. However, this one I had encountered after I'd already been there for about a month. So how the motorbike rental works, or jet ski rental, or whatever vehicle that you're renting is that whenever you're renting it, you have to give them your passport or ID as collateral. It's just in case you damage their bike at all, which is completely reasonable. However, this is Thailand, and some businesses might be a little bit corrupt. So whenever you bring back your bike, they'll see a little scratch and they'll accuse you of doing it, and you'll say no, you didn't do it. However, they have your passport and you need that, so you won't be able to get your passport back or ID back until you pay for the damages. They've pretty much got you stuck between a rock and a hard place, and I think the only way you can avoid this is to really look at it, take some pictures. For me personally, how I avoided this is I went to an island with a friend of mine who I had made when I was working there. This guy was Thai, like he spoke Thai, he's from Thailand. So while we were on this island, I wanted a motorcycle for a week. So I went to go get one, and they asked for my ID, and like at this point I was smart enough to not fall for this. So I went to my Thai friend, I was like, hey, can you talk to them, like make sure like they don't scam me or anything, like I don't want to be paying for this bike, like tell them that I'm with you and that you're like a local. So he just went and talked to him in Thai and was like, hey, like this is my friend, he's with me, like I know he's a tourist, but like don't try to scam him, and pretty much made me feel comfortable with giving him my ID. However, if you don't have a Thai friend, then my recommendation is bring some sort of like old ID, maybe a fake ID, whatever you have, I don't know. But yeah, do that so that if they try holding your passport or ID hostage for damages you didn't do, that's not your primary ID, so you can just leave without it. Alright, so there are the first 5 scams. Those are all ones that are really common or that I fell for or was really close to falling for. These next 5 are also really common, however, they just didn't happen to me or I didn't see them happening to anyone else. So number 6, and that is the tuk-tuk tour. So I totally believe that this is a common thing because I explained what tuk-tuks are like, but real quickly, pretty much what a tuk-tuk tour is a tuk-tuk driver will say for a really cheap price, oh, I'll take you here, I'll take you there, I'll show you these gym shops, I'll show you this. So pretty much you'll be with them for a couple hours and he'll just show you like his friend's shop, his other friend's shop, his other friend's shop, and pretty much just try like selling you stuff and not really showing you the best parts of Thailand. And additionally, he'll be driving you further and further and further away from the city, and then he'll be like, alright, it's over, and then if you want to get back, you're gonna have a big bill to pay on that tuk-tuk to get back. Alright, now scam number 7 isn't so much a scam as it is just corruption by the police there. So I'm gonna get into more details about this in other videos. However, the police in Thailand are, how I would say, like safely corrupt. Like, it's not like corrupt like Mexico. However, they are very corrupt, and the system there makes them where they're very easily bribable. So sometimes I hear people talking about how they're worried that police will like plant drugs on you, and then they'll like arrest you, and they'll get you in a bunch of trouble, and then you have to pay like a bunch of fines to get out of it, and it's how they make a bunch of money. And I honestly don't really see that being the case. However, this is something I saw firsthand, not necessarily to tourists, but to the actual Thai locals that the police were doing. So I was working in a hostel, and as it works there is you have to pay the police extra, not just in taxes, to come check on your place every day. And so our hostel paid that, so the police would come and check it every day just to make sure things are going well. So in a way, we kind of like became friends with the police. When they were done working, they'd come and hang out, drink beer, socialize, just have a good time. However, at the same time, the World Cup was going on, and the police there, they really like to gamble, and they really like soccer, so they'd be putting a lot of big bets on certain teams, and whenever they would lose, they'd be out a lot of money. So what did they do? They'd say, oh shoot, I gotta go write some fake tickets to make up for all the money I just lost. And what I mean by like fake tickets, I don't know exactly how it works, but pretty much what I was told is they would go out with like pieces of paper that looked like tickets that they printed, not the official paper that they get from the government, and they would give it to people, and they could like pay off the ticket right then, and they would just pay the ticket to the police right then, and then they keep the money. It was either that, or they'd say they're gonna give them a ticket and just be like, or just pay me this much and I won't give you the ticket, something like that. So yeah, that was something I think they mainly did to locals, but I'm sure they also do it to tourists. Alright, so for my final tip number 8, that is the gym scam. I personally don't have any first-hand experience with this scam, however, I know that there are tons of gym and gold and diamond shops all around Thailand, and I've heard a lot of people complain about getting scammed in them. So pretty much how it works is there's all these gym shops, they're on every street corner in downtown Bangkok. Anyways, you'll be going into them looking for some gold, diamonds, I don't know, rubies, sapphires, whatever you want, and they'll quote you some price that they say is market price, however, it's actually ridiculously high, and then they'll offer you some like sweet discount, like 30-40% off, so it's like way lower than like the market price. So you buy this like ring, necklace, jewelry, whatever it is, and you think you got a sweet deal on it. However, you just paid way more than you should have for that jewelry, because if you had bought it anywhere in like the US, Europe, I don't know, somewhere else at market value, and keep in mind market value is about the same everywhere in the world, you would have paid a lot less for it. So it's just a common way people get scammed at jewelry / gym shops in Thailand. So anyways, those are my 8 scams of Thailand and how you can avoid them. Again, if you found this video helpful, please give it a big old like, subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, please leave comments below, I really love engaging with y'all. And yeah, I think that's about it for this video. I'll link in the description some similar videos I did, so you can go check those out if you're interested. So yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.